Hi guys, and welcome back to
Scrub Mentality! My name is Mei Shin,
My name is Frances, and we are Filipino nurses here in Australia.
and for today's episode, we're going to discuss to you about our employment process, the experience that we've gone through,
And how did we find our employers here in Australia?
and where we ended basically. So, so if you're a new nurse, a student, or whatever nursing occupation that you have right now, you're in luck because we're gonna help you somehow to like whereabouts to look for some jobs, like the websites, and then share with your experiences as well,
Yeah.
and then obviously because nurses
Give you some
are
tips. Yeah, to give you some tips
nurses
basically.
are really a high demand.
Yeah.
So
Should we start?
yeah, go
Yeah.
on, start. Yeah, but basically.
So we'll begin with the basic requirements. Like if you've thought of like, oh, I want to apply to for a nursing job in Australia. So before you apply for these jobs, you should tick these boxes. So basically the requirements, the basic requirements that you need. So first is you should have an APRA registration. Without this, basically it'll be so hard to look for a job.
Because all employers they require for your license.
Legally, you should have your license
You
before
can-
applying. And then second is you should have an English exam. So I think this is more like if you're planning to apply for visas already, you can have the
Yeah.
English exam. And then working rights will follow. Like if your employer is willing to sponsor you, depending 482, 186, it will follow once you're hired. So those are just the basic things.
So just a tip, sometimes some employers will help sponsor your visa. They might give you a 482, which is the working visa, or the 186, which is the permanent visa, which is sponsored by your employer. So somehow you have to bargain with your employer.
It's more like sometimes,
yourself.
yeah, you have to sell yourself. You have to make sure that you're showing your skills. You have to do well in the interviews as well.
Yeah.
That's really their basis, and also your qualifications too.
So it's nice if you will go enter Australia on the PR pathway already.
I mean, it's really a bonus
Yeah.
because I don't know with Nation, but I know. I think we had an agreement like we won't leave the UK unless it's a
Yeah,
permanent
PR, yeah.
residency.
And
So we're here. It happened. So with prayers and with hard work, it really did happen, and we're here. It gives you that job security,
It
not only for you,
is.
especially we've got families already, that we're on permanent residency. So hopefully this will help you guys to have your own pathway as well to Australia.
I know, yeah. So let's get on. So basically, we're gonna share where we websites that we've gone through. So we're gonna give you the list as well. So for me, both of us we've been looking throughout the internet. So there are a couple of websites, right,
Yeah.
for job applications. So it includes Seek. It's one of the Australia's #1 job portal here.
That's where Machine found
Yeah,
her
that's
job.
where I got my job basically. And then you can also use Indeed and then Health Times.
My
My
career, LinkedIn. Also, you can also find jobs to the direct websites of the hospitals. If you go to like, for example, say Royal Melbourne Hospital, if you go to their website, if you go to careers
Yeah.
and they're hiring there, you can apply there directly as well. So it depends. It depends on you. But we did everything. We
Yeah.
applied internet
Everything,
to the
yeah.
websites, we applied to Seek and all that. So also, there are loads of agencies, healthcare agencies that can help you. Some of
Yeah.
them are global, some of them are local. So what I did was I think it was in Facebook. I was just scrolling down and I saw CPL Healthcare. That's the agency that I used for my job right now. So I just emailed them and then they followed up with an email too,
Yeah.
saying that these are the regions or the states that are hiring nurses.
Yeah, if you've got a preferred
Preferred area,
region,
yeah.
you can always tell them, and then they will try to help you look for a job in your specific area.
So yeah, me and Mission are really wanted Victoria, Melbourne specifically.
Yeah.
I think it's because personal reasons. It's near the
Yeah.
city. It's not too
Job
regional.
opportunities.
Job opportunities for husbands
Yeah.
as well. So we really we really wanted to go here. So we opened that up to the I opened it up to my agency as well, that I really wanted Melbourne specifically. And luckily, there was a hospital hiring, and then yeah, it all started there. But you have to be careful. You remember the time when I had an agency
Yeah.
in Bendigo, and
And
then they
then
were saying, they were offering loads of things like PR, and they have
there's a
10,
lot of red flags in that agency.
yeah, that 10,000 relocation AUD, and
It's like too good to be true, right?
then I was like, just submit your resume, we'll call you tomorrow. And I was like, I was excited as well. But then the next day he said I was hired. And then the following day he said they were stopping the visa applications for everyone internationally. So I was like, I was not really sure what was happening, but you have to be careful as well. Don't invest too much
Yeah.
unless they've really really started that you had your interviews, you had your contracts and all that. So don't trust too much, because there are scams out there, really.
Exactly, yeah. So just be careful, like, like what I've mentioned, like other agencies may offer you some offers which are really too good to be true.
Yeah, it's a red flag.
So, yeah, just watch out.
Because she told me that get it because it's really
Yeah, it's
nice.
a really a good
It's a
offer
really good
though.
offer
With a
because
relocation package of 10,000.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think when we were applying last year, there were really not much already.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were not much hirings here in Melbourne. There are loads of regionals, but then in Melbourne, Victoria, there were really a small amount of employers looking for nurses. So we were struggling a bit, but then we found a way. But make sure you don't settle for those scams,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's a waste of time, a waste of energy, a waste of effort, because you will go to those interviews and all that. So you have to be careful sometimes. That's why some of these sites like Seek, LinkedIn, they're legit because they've got like legit agencies
They're
in
linked
there.
to the
Yeah.
hospitals or the company as well directly.
You just have to be
Yeah.
careful.
So, yeah, obviously, you can apply in different facility here. You've got like public hospitals, private, aged care. So it depends upon your preference.
Yeah.
And then you can apply directly to the employer's site as well, as what she mentioned a while ago. And then you really have to sell yourself. You have to do a make sure your resume is like Australian. Australia has its own style with regards to resume. Just some pro tips maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think? What could you suggest
So,
for the resume
when I
application?
did
Yeah.
when I did my resume, it's really hard to prove yourself by just the paper. So I researched really to like what should I put there. Like if they scanned my resume, would they say it was just a mediocre,
Yeah,
like
because
an
they would know if
ordinary?
you just took it from
Yeah.
ChatGPT,
Or
right?
somewhere else. You have to like put I think you can get a template from somewhere, but make it your own, make it
Yeah.
personal. And then you have to highlight your career experience. Like I meant like me or Maishin, we're like emergency department nurses for this year, and we're ALS certified,
Yeah,
all
your
that,
specialties,
your specialties, your trainings, your qualifications, you put it all in there. But also you make sure that in your cover letter you put that you're willing to relocate,
Yeah.
when's the time that you're ready to relocate, your visa status, do you need visa sponsorship, and when is the easiest time that you can go to
Yeah,
Australia.
it saves effort from you and the employer as well.
Because they would see if you're really keen to go to Australia right away, then it will like push them to get you as well. So that's just some pro tips for me. For you,
Yeah.
what did you do? Because you're like,
So I basically use the same resume. It's just the same thing that I've been using all throughout the years. I'm just literally editing my years of experience. So obviously I have to add on the experience that we've got back in the UK. And then you have to highlight, like I really have to emphasize there that we were band 6 sisters as
Yeah.
triage specialists, because
Yeah.
it's gonna stand out as well for the employer, right? And then your years of experience
Yeah.
as well, and then your obviously
Band
your
6, for those who
qualifications.
doesn't know, Band 6 is like, I think Anum here.
Yeah, it's like equivalent of Anum here.
Anum,
Yeah,
Anum
yeah.
here, yeah.
So
So
yeah.
we were like that in the UK before we left, and we put it there as well. So that's like it highlights your resume, like, oh, she's a junior manager in her area. Oh, it's a good thing she has managerial skills and she has specialities as
Yeah.
well. So it's really, I think you should invest in your skills
Yeah,
as
while you're
well.
young.
Yeah, while you're
Yeah.
young.
Invest in trainings.
Yeah.
Yeah, your skills. Hone your skills as much as you can because it will really help you go a long way in your nursing career. Yeah.
And then next up to that, if you've submitted your resume and the employer was happy, you were shortlisted, I think that's where the real battle begins because you will have the interview
Yeah.
now.
And also make sure, just put in your mind, you've got like a whole lot of competition because there are lots of qualified nurses
If you think
out
you're good,
there.
there's loads of good nurses as well
Exactly,
in there.
yeah. And
After you've been shortlisted, the employer is happy with your resume, your cover letter, and all that. The real battle begins with your interview. So it can be virtual, like what she did.
yeah, via Zoom, I think. Ah, no, I mean Microsoft Teams, sorry.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I did face to face. Can you imagine? They went to the UK to interview loads
It
of
was
us.
like a panel for you.
Yeah, and then also there's loads of nurses who will apply. So it's a competitive space, but then compete with yourself, focus with yourself,
Exactly.
sell yourself. That's all that you can do. So you want to share how the interview went for you?
So for me, it's basically straightforward. So maybe I'll just share the questions. So it was just through Microsoft Teams. I think it was the nursing unit manager who interviewed me. There were 3 people during that time, and I was from night shift.
Yeah, I remember.
And then so during the time they asked me, I think only 3 situational questions. The assessment basically because I'm looking for an emergency nurse position. So they asked me how to do triaging, do the ABCs,
yeah.
like the proper assessments. If I think they gave me like 3 scenarios, like what will you do if there's like an asthmatic child and then there is a COPD old man, 89-year-old coming in, and then you've got I
Loads
think
of
a fall,
questions.
yeah, a fall, and then you've got these 3 patients. What will you do first?
Who will you
Who will you
prioritize? Yeah.
prioritize? Yeah, so it depends. So there's no wrong and right answer during that time. It's most likely
You will just
how
assess.
you how you
assess your
deliver
own, yeah.
it. Yeah, they will assess you how you will deal with that situation
Yeah.
basically if it's in front of you. And then after that one, they told me like obviously I have to ask them as well what will be my expectations if you've got like so I told them straightforward during the interview that I wanted a permanent residency. Yeah, I've got few weeks to decide if I'm really gonna take it or not, and then yeah, I'm here already. So
And for me,
yeah.
we've got different interviews.
Yeah.
Face to face, Zoom, virtual. So for face to face, you had to go to Manchester again. We were in a hotel, and it was not only me. There were more or less like 50 different
Loads of you.
nationalities from different hospitals went there. We went there, and then we were grouped. Like I think we were divided into 7, and there were like 3 panelists, and then they would just say, so for me, she said Frances, so I was just there together with the 6 other applicants.
I can imagine like
Frances Rogers, hi. And then they asked about a situation and how would you respond to that situation. So they asked me, if you found an unresponsive man in a cubicle, what will you do? So I just answered what I should I
So
would
what
have done.
would you do?
I would have wake up, and then yeah, step by step, you should be clear. Always follow A, B, C, D, E. That's what I did. Every
You will
breathing.
never get wrong with that.
Yeah, I never go wrong with that. And then after the interview, they said we'll come back to you in like a day or 2 because they have another interview the next day because there were loads of applicants. This is for a big hospital in Melbourne. It's a new hospital, so there were loads of interviews that they were conducting, and they traveled from Australia as well.
Yeah.
So days after I received the result, and they were happy with it. I was lucky because they said that, oh, you're hired and this is where you're gonna work. They gave us They gave us a contract already and all that. But so many things happen in between.
Yeah.
But basically, they wanted 482 to sponsor me for a 482 visa. So just a skill temporary,
visa.
yeah, a working visa. So I was already hesitant at first, but then I think I've invested so much in the hospital already that I was like, I'll just give it a go. I'll say yes. And in the background, I was already applying for 189 because you can apply at the same time. Then whatever comes first, it will override
Yeah.
the results. For example, if 482 comes first,
Yeah.
then you
So
will have
she's
482.
got two options
I've got two
basically.
options. I wanted really to make sure that I have the job security and for my family, like we said earlier,
Yeah.
that we will be insured when we arrive here.
Exactly.
So that's why I opt for 189 in the background.
Yeah.
But the hospital was happy to do my 482 as well with PR pathway after 2 years.
So yeah, that's the difference between the two of us. I was offered 186, a PR visa, but no relocation, just a sponsorship. And then for her, she was offered a 482 visa
With
with relocation, and then but she opted to get that
apply.
job offer, and
Yeah.
then on the background, she applied for a 189 visa.
Yeah. So it ended up with me having 189 visa and a relocation. So they gave me a relocation budget, which is I think it's a good deal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like what I paid for the visa they gave it back to me by giving me the relocation package.
Exactly, yeah.
So it depends on the hospital if they will offer you a relocation package really. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to share, sometimes rural hospitals back here in Australia offer you visa which are processed quite faster, because and offer relocation
Big
experience,
relocation allowance.
support. I mean, after the interview, they asked me. Obviously, they will allow you to ask questions, and for me, I asked them if they will sponsor me, if what
Straight
should
away.
I know I have to ask them.
Did they
because-
tell you that you were hired straight away?
No, I asked them when am I gonna know the result, and they said we will tell you in an hour or two. But I asked them, are you gonna sponsor me? And then obviously the expected salary as well. And then I heard something good, so somehow I expected. But obviously you know that I've got some
Yeah.
I've got other applications
Not
as
only
well.
one.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure you have multiple. You have plan A, plan B.
Yeah, because on this current company, I've got some, I'm holding back because there's like no relocation package.
It was just
Yeah.
she has to pay for
I
everything.
have to pay everything.
She was sponsored, but then she
Yeah.
has to pay even for the visa,
Yeah.
for her own visa. So she
I
was
did.
looking for other companies who will support her
Yeah,
in a way.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
and,
then, what made you decide to get that company?
So basically, because from the start they were quite straightforward, so I know what to expect. Like, we will not pay for this, so I know that they won't do that one. So I think it's a good company if they're quite honest at you firsthand.
And I think as well, there were not much employers offering 186 during that time.
yeah, it's hard to have
Yeah,
a permanent
I
resident.
tried loads,
Yeah.
but no one will offer you 186 in like Melbourne in the
yeah.
city. No. So in regional areas, yes, but in the city, it's really Maishin got lucky with their hospital.
So guys, I think that concludes our video for today. So whether you want to, whether you're ready to treat patients here in Melbourne or in Sydney, we hope this video guides you or help you be one step closer to your Aussie nursing dream.
Remember, spiders might be big, but so are your dreams.
Yeah, dreams are bigger.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you're started applying, if you're in the middle of processing your PR, or if you're in the middle of finding an employer. We've all been there, and we'll try our best to help you guys out.
Yeah.
See you next
next
time.
time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.